In this video, I'm going to show you how to make thousands of dollars in your coaching business with a simple $27 event. So this is one of our clients. We've run this $27 event for her 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times. And as you can see here, she has been able to make over $400,000 from running these events 5 times. And then this is another client that has run this event twice. She's made about $250,000 from running this event twice. This is another person as well that's made close to $500,000 from running this event times 2 as well. So if you want to make millions of dollars, multiple 6 figures in your coaching business with a $27 event, you need to pay close attention to this video because I'm going to break down exactly how you can leverage this system to get more sales inside of your coaching business and get more sales consistently inside of your coaching business. So if you're not familiar with me, my name is Opie. I run a marketing company that helps coaches, consultants, course creators. We help them sign more of their dream clients and we help them scale. We've generated millions of dollars for these clients using virtual events, and we've also been able to help them sign thousands of clients for their online education business using the exact same systems that you find not only in this video, but in other videos of mine too as well. So the first thing that you need to understand about this $27 event is it gives you an opportunity to actually close high ticket packages without sales calls. So this client, for example, she sold about 63 units of a $5,000 program, and maybe only 10 of those sales came from a sales call. So having a type of event like this allows you to sell your high ticket packages without sales calls. And this way, even if you would even use sales calls, you can have the most qualified possible leads on those sales calls and you're pretty much good to go, right? And you don't also have to pay any sales team commissions just because you're closing these deals without any sales calls whatsoever. And even if you use a sales team, you can afford to ask them to take less commission just because they're not really working that hard to actually close the prospects because they have been on an event with you. They are so warm already and they are most likely to just join and purchase your program by leveraging that. The next thing you need to understand about these $27 events is it's also very high leverage because you can sell one to many instead of selling one to one. So let's say you have a sales team right now and you're getting 30 clients a month, for example. 30 clients a month, that's about 120 calls that your sales team has to take. Let's say each call takes you about 60 minutes. That is 120 calls times 60 minutes. You're looking at about 720 minutes of time that is going into closing those 30 sales. But you can literally spend 5 hours on a virtual event and then close the same number of sales just by leveraging like specific structures and specific systems in the virtual event. So it's very high leverage. It's very little time and effort to get an exponential result. And I love situations like that give me some type of asymmetry where if I put in small effort, I get an outside return like I'm showing you right here on my screen. So it's also a system like that allows you to get way more for less. The other thing with this is you can also get clients for free pretty much by using this system because you charge for the event. If you notice this client here, for example, this one here, we spent about $15,000 on ads and we made back $19,000 from ticket sales. Meaning she pretty much made back our entire spend on ads from the challenge ticket sales. And she sold about $113,000, which means she got clients for free. This is another example for this client too as well, where she spent, I think, $32,000 on ads, like you can see right here. And we made back $36,000 from challenge ticket sales, which means that she basically got clients for free. So this can allow you to get clients for free just because you charge some money for the event, you get people to come in already committed, they come into the events, they're very excited, you provide some value, you pitch them at the end, and you basically got these clients for free because you didn't even have to pay any money out of pocket to get them into the room with you. So this is why we love using this strategy for our clients. And finally, although this system is a lot of work, what you need to understand is if you create the event once, say you do a 3-day event, for example, or a 5-day event, for example, once you host that event once, the content, the systems, the structure can just be used again over and over again. So it's almost like you're building a machine that can get you sales any single time you want to make sales. You know that you have this system in place that once you go and turn this system on, you can pretty much get as much sales as you want whenever you want. See these examples that I was showing you earlier. These clients are literally running the same event. Like this client, for example, has run the same event over 5 times. This is the same exact same event run twice. Same event run twice here as well. So you could literally create something once that continues to produce results for you over and over and over and over again. So this is the reasons why I believe having a system like this is extremely important for your business. Now let's get into more practical things. So how do you actually choose a topic for this event? So there's 2 methods that we found that works really well when it comes to choosing a topic for your event. The first one is obstacles, and the second one is high level micro steps. Now, for the obstacles, you want to ask yourself, what are some of the things that stop your ICP, your ideal target market, from taking action on your opportunity? Say, for example, you help people start a private practice. You want to identify what are the top reasons why people do not want to start a private practice, or things that prevent them from starting a private practice, and then create a challenge that focuses purely on solving that problem. So one of our clients is literally doing this right now, where she has a program that helps other people start a private practice, and she has a challenge where she talks about the 3 main obstacles that stop them, and then she genuinely tries to solve that problem for them completely, gives them homeworks and so on and so forth. And this just means that this client can get to the end of the pitch and say, oh, now that I've already helped you solve all these obstacles that you have, the next logical step for you to take would be to join the program, purchase, so that you can actually start taking action towards getting the results that you want. That's obstacles. So let's say you have a weight loss program. What are the things that will stop people from actually taking action on the program, or take action on losing weight? They don't know what diets to use. They don't want to work out in the gym. It's another example. So you can put some home workouts in your challenge, and so on and so forth. There's a ton of ways that you can do this, but the core idea here is you want to identify what those obstacles are, things that are stopping them from taking action on the opportunity that you have, and then create a challenge to solve every single one of those problems. That's one. Second thing you can do is high level micro steps. So this is the one where they actually take action on doing the thing. So in my private practice clients example, we have a 5-day challenge that takes them through 5 steps they need to take to start a private practice, and we break down each step on each day. So step 1 might be to choose your niche, and then we dedicate the whole of day 1 to helping them choose their niche. And then step 2 would be to maybe set up their practice infrastructure and the legal side of their practice. And then on day 2, we go deep into that. Step 3 would be to maybe fund their practice. We go into how to get business funding and so on and so forth. You get the idea. The idea here is very high level micro steps that take them step by step to achieving that first goal or that first milestone. So I recently attended someone's workshop where they help people start digital product businesses. And it was literally a thing where she showed them how to create their first digital product. And at the end, she now sold them on, oh, by the way, if you want to sell more digital products, if you want to make more money, blah, then join my main program. It's the exact same thing. You want to give them a small, tangible win, something tangible that they can leave the challenge with, that gives them a very small transformation and leads them to become more likely to take action on your main program. Now, once you choose a topic or the things you would like to cover in a challenge, you want to validate it, because it's one thing to have a challenge topic, and it's another thing to have a challenge topic that have people who are interested in attending or learning more about the event topic. You want to actually validate it, and you can do this with a very simple 3-step post on your IG stories, where in post 1, you state a problem. Say, for example, the key problem that your challenge helps people solve. Maybe you can say, are you currently experiencing XYZ problem? And then you agitate the problem in a second story post. What that looks like is basically saying something along the lines of, tell them how this problem shows up in their day-to-day lives, literally. So let's say the problem you stated was, oh, do you currently experience not having enough time for yourself? And then you now go into agitation. Oh, by the way, are you also experiencing you no longer have time for your family and your friends? You don't have time for your self-care. You get at home every single time and you're tired. This is how the problem shows up in their day-to-day lives. If that sounds like you, right? The third story post is solution. I'm having a 3-day challenge that's going to help you solve XYZ problem. It just sounds like something you're interested in. Reply with the word X and see the amount of replies that you get. And you can even reply back to them and ask them more questions to try and get clarity on exactly what they would like you to help them solve. So you can get exactly what your challenge topic should be and validate that topic. So once you choose a topic, you want to also validate it by reaching out to your stories, your audience via your stories, and that will get you to a place where you are validating the topic. So you don't spend all this time creating a challenge around the topic that nobody even wants. So once you validate the topic, the next question would be, how do you now structure this event? So the structure of the event that we like to use is a 3-day event. And the reason why we like 3 days is because this is the sweet spot. You won't lose as much people, because the more days you have in an event, the more people that you lose. And if you do like a 2-day or a 1-day event, you might not get the kind of cash injections you're looking for, and they won't have enough time to spend as much time with you as humanly possible. So that will lead to you not converting as well. But 3 days is a very sweet spot to be in. So on day 1 is content. On day 1. So you basically want to provide as much value as possible. You teach them about your opportunity. You show them the first practical steps. You provide them some value really and try and get them on your side. On day 2 now, you want to start with some content. But the kind of content you want to use on day 2 is a content that still does the same thing that you did on day 1, but just try and teach your team topic from a different perspective. So if you can bring in guest speakers here, that would also be great, just because they can help you give a different perspective to what you were teaching. And then when you do some content on day 2, you want to now have what we call the pre-pitch. So the pre-pitch is basically you just overcoming their money and time objections before you pitch your actual offer. And then you want to pitch the offer here. And if you have an offer that is more than 5K, I would recommend you just get them to book a call with your sales team. But if the offer is less than 5K, you can pitch the offer. If the offer is 5K, you can pitch the offer directly right there and then. And you will most likely get as many people as possible to join right there. And then on day 3, you want to do what we call a re-pitch, where you basically just reference the things you mentioned the previous day from the pre-pitch and ask them direct questions on like, are you ready to take action on this right now? If you're ready, then here's the link to go. And then you answer their questions, you overcome any objections that they have, any limiting beliefs, you address their concerns, you keep reminding them about the call to action. And then at the end of day 3, you want to just provide some more value to them, just so it feels like they ended on a good note. And when they think back to that challenge, they won't see it as, oh, I remember that time I went to a challenge and I would just pitch throughout. They will still feel like they got so much value from the challenge. So this is basically the structure for the event. And then finally, the final thing here is, how do you now actually promote this event? So there are 2 ways to promote the event. The first way is what we call using a micro event to promote the main event. And then second way is just using a long form sales page. So first one, using a micro event. A micro event is a simple 45 minutes webinar that we host. And it just basically tells them about your story, tells them about the opportunity, asks them to purchase challenge tickets, show them on why they should purchase, and you're good to go. And then a long form sales page is a different version of that is just on a page that goes over all the details of the challenge and tries to get them to purchase. So we run ads to this for our clients. We leverage their email list, right? So we'll use ads, we'll use email. If they have like YouTube, they'll use YouTube. They will use Instagram. And you basically want to promote this for about 30 to 45 days. And once you do that, you should be able to sell as many tickets as possible. And if you sell about 100 tickets or so, you are looking at getting about 5 to 10 sales from that. If you sell 1,000 tickets, you can get like 50 to 100 sales from doing something like this, just by following the same structure that you have right here. So that's basically how we are able to generate millions of dollars for clients using a simple $27 event. Yes, some of the events are more expensive. We have $97, $47. There's VIP options too as well. People pay you more just so you can recoup more of your ad spend upfront. There's VIP as well included in this. But the big idea behind this is you want to have an event like this that gives people a taste of what it's like to work with you. And then you're able to convert a lot of prospects one to many, get those huge cash injections so you can go back and run ads more aggressively and just scale your business by giving your audience the right amount of value that they actually need. So if you found this video useful, make sure you like the video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. And if you're a coach or a consultant or a course creator and you would like to scale your online education business using the systems that we have, there's a link in the description for you to check out. Watch that video and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.